We have a blended family of 8 children.
Is that actually gives us a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. Well, I've had a relaxed day.
Okay, welcome to Burnout, Business and Body, the podcast that helps you take care of yourself and your life in 3 powerful ways.
Hi, my name is Nicole, and I am your stress management health recovery coach, teaching you to find the calm amongst the storm.
And I'm Belinda Smith, your business leadership and team coach, helping you to build a business that supports your life, your people, and your profit.
And I'm Sabina, your peak performance coach, helping you to increase and optimize your energy and stress from the inside out. I think that's gone wrong, but never mind. It's odd lib. I've had a day. It's been school holidays. Can we just get into the podcast already, please?
Absolutely.
Oh my God. I mean, basically what I do is, I'm sure everyone's heard it before. Sorry, I'm in the States.
That's okay. That's all right, because we were just going to talk about how in each episode, burnout, business and body, how they're deeply connected and how small shifts across all 3 can create big changes in your energy, your work and your life. But today we have to have a trigger warning. In the lead up, we jumped on, it is school holidays and we've got some mamas in the room that are having some So there could be some swearing today.
So please don't be offended, and if you are, skip this episode.
Yes, skip this episode, and that's, yes, good idea.
We're going to call it WTF, happens in school holidays.
I think that's a fantastic, and that's that's a fantastic, perfect title.
So what's happening for you in the school holidays, Sabina?
So I have to jump on first, and I'm sorry for my
Explicit language
and erratic energy. But I just think it's week 2 of school holidays, and as women, I know as fathers as well, but we are managing so many balls in the air and juggling so much, and I don't think we talk. I'm sure we do talk about it, but maybe even talking about it in terms of a business sense, right? How it affects our business and burnout as well, and how it affects our body and everything, because when we're juggling so many balls, it's really hard. And I think talking about it and giving ourselves permission to just let it be okay, and then I think that's something that I think would be beneficial for everybody.
Yeah.
I might not be making a lot of sense today, but
Well, no, what you're saying is, like, for the mums out there that still have their businesses, their careers, they're juggling the lot, and then the kids are at home and they've got to be entertained, and there's a little bit running around after them, and it's chaos. It is absolute stress, because you're juggling more than what you need to in one day normally. And you've actually had that experience today, haven't you?
yours sounds so much more eloquent and elegant than mine before we
Well, I've had a relaxed day.
So backstories, I arrived, we've had this we have an appointment, and the ladies very kindly accommodated myself today, but I wasn't on time, I couldn't be there, things weren't working, and you're not always working with people who support you. And I think that's something, I mean, I'm lucky that we're all mums, and we've all been in those situations. And at the start of our podcast, that was one of the things that we actually mentioned, was that, just being able to support each other when we are going a bit crazy. But not everybody has got such an understanding group of colleagues or bosses or whatever it might be. So for me today, basically, it's just trying to fit so much into one day. And our expectations are, I know for myself, I still expected to show up for my work and do exactly the same as what I normally do. But then we couple that with the fact that we've got to run around and take care of the kids, and we've got to make sure they're fed, and we've got to make sure that they are at their place on time, and we're trying to take care of them, and we're trying to take care of the fact that we've got these businesses that we are growing, you know,
Mm.
and we have this mission that we have with this podcast, and we've got so many balls that we've all got in the air, and it's frantic.
Mm. Yeah. I have 4 teenagers downstairs.
I don't know how you do
So
it.
my son has 3 friends that have come. No, he has 4 friends that have come over, so there's 5 of them. And they're playing something like Dungeons and Dragons. They've all got computers in front of them. They're all yelling. They're all talking smack. They're just swearing, and but they're laughing and they're having such a joyous time. I couldn't hear a thing. I've had to lock myself away in the office, close the door. I can still hear through the door. I can hear them now. Thank God there's sort of noise cancelling here.
cancelling.
And Zoom's not picking up, but every now and again they've just got this big pitch, setting up for the day. My son says, "Oh, we're gonna have friends over, Mum. Can you get all the food? This is what we want." Ring, you get their food. He'll cook it and he'll host them. I went downstairs before, in between a meeting. There is so much mess. It's just everywhere. And that bench was absolutely pristine this morning. It was so tidy. And it's just a disaster zone. Everything's been ripped out of boxes and smashed all over the place, and there's just bits of food everywhere. So the kids are having a great time screaming and doing what they're doing. It's great. I love hearing it. Though, can I get my work done easily? It's kind of disrupted me quite a bit, because each time that I try to do something, they're calling out for something else. So, it definitely can affect you. It's affecting my business today. I love hearing it. So it's got its challenges. And there was like expletives, and, I walked, I shouldn't say this, I walked in the room, they go, "Oh, this is my mum, she's a lesbian." I'm like, why? Well, they're just talking smack. They just said it out loud. I'm like, why? And they said, "Don't talk to your mum like that." And they're like, "Oh," and everything's fun because they're 16 and they think it's fun.
Yep.
And whilst I don't take offence to any of it, it's just one other thing. In the meantime, one of the other kids says, "Hey, I want to go and see my friend. Can you drop me off?" And it's in between, something else. My husband's away working. There's challenges. You do have to try and juggle it. And in school times, there's some quiet because the hours that they're at school.
Yeah.
So there's a way to plan and have your business. So, I think it's a real challenge. I really feel for mums with multiple kids.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, can we just say that again? How many children do you have, Belinda? Because you are not like, I mean, both of you. I feel as though I'm an amateur mother compared to you two. But how many kids exactly do you have? Just tell everybody again.
Yeah, it's a blend. We have a blended family of 8 children.
8.
We only have
8, like with
8.
a circle on top of another circle. Everybody for listening at home. 8. 2 minus 10. 2 minus 10. 10 minus 2.
Yeah, because it's a blended family, we've not had all the kids at home at once. Our eldest is in his 40s, and we have 6 grandchildren. We have 2 great grandchildren. Just work that out. Just think about that.
Don't look old enough, love.
Well, technically I'm not. I didn't give birth to that child because that son is well in his 40s and I'm in my, let's say, early 50s. So it's not the case. But when you have a lot of moving targets and people moving around, in my area there's a lot of advice, I need this, or can I ask your advice about that, and how do I do this, and this kid needs a Band-Aid, and what does this rash look like? This grandchild has this situation. So there's those questions, even though they're not all at home. It's the external sort of things, and then pulling the family together, the birthdays, the Christmases, that becomes, quite a lot. But I've actually almost forgotten about what happened when we had, 6 under the one roof, and then there were only 5 under the one roof. I think we've only had 7 at home at once. and then 6, and then mostly 5. We had 5 for a long time. And then as they get older, they move out of home. Now we have 3 plus mum. So there's sort of 4, and whatever the moving parts are, it's always going to have its challenges. The babies are very needy. The anxiousness you have when they're teenagers because you're not sure what's going on. One son just turned 18, decided drinking's for me now. I've got to go and hunt the world down. I've got to get to the ivy. I've got to do all the fun stuff. And I get it. I was there. But you know what goes with that? The anxiety of, do you hope they're sensible? And the vehicles and the driving. And so I feel like I'm constantly on edge. Even when they were little, you're worried about them. But as they get older and become teenagers, I think it escalates. I think it's a bit more for me as the kids are
getting older.
Yes, because they're not making great decisions and their brains aren't fully developed, but they've got this freedom and they want to experience the world. Their mum doesn't want them to experience too much because her nervous system needs regulation.
So true. So true.
I love that. And you look on the outside, Belinda, like you've got all your shit together. Yeah, you look really like you are so well organized, and well, you are actually, because you try and organize me. And so kudos to you for doing that, because I really don't know how I would manage. Yeah.
But
And
do you know something, Sabina? Just acknowledge the moment where it feels uncomfortable. Because I had been in business for 30 years and I had staff in front of me for a lot of the day. So I learned to have a poker face. I was in sales. I couldn't wear my heart on my sleeve. It just had to have a poker face. I actually got really good at just looking like nothing was wrong. And many people comment and saying, yeah, it looks like that really calm and so forth. And so I don't want people to think, wow, I really want to be like that, because on the inside, I'm not. That's not what's happening. I'm the same as everybody else. It's just I've learned to measure the chaos on the outside so I can calm myself down a little bit better, and everyone else in the world cannot see that. And I have a lot of people, including clients, I just want to be as calm as you. I'm like, oh no. Yes, external calmness, not internal calmness.
But I really like, you saying that, because I know for myself, and I don't know if Nick's the same, I'm sure there's lots of people listening, is that actually gives us a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, it does.
And I commend you on that, because I think, and just you giving light to that means that people, no matter where they are, is they can take from what you've just said, and you've got so much experience across the globe doing the, what you do, or what you've done in the past with Harvey Norman. And I think that, we hear about, but putting on that face, I think that gives us all a bit of a light at the end of the tunnel. Yes, we can still be falling apart sometimes inside, but from a business sense, we can just have that front. And also is just because people in business have that face where they look like they've got everything together, it doesn't mean that they haven't. And giving people that understanding too, so that we feel as though, well, actually we can maybe still be connected to them, just because they look like they've got all their stuff together and we haven't.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know. You never know what's going on for anyone. Like, even if they're voicing it, or what's the word? They're reacting, and their reactions are so bizarre, and you're going, "What's going on?" It's normally something in that person. And some people are good at holding the poker face, and some people are not. But just because they are holding the poker face doesn't mean that they're built like a steel pole, and that they've got nothing going on inside. They absolutely do. We need to normalize that. They absolutely do. They might be able to react in more of a controlled way, but then there may have been so many years of learning and practicing that skill and gaining awareness of how they show up. So it's not, I don't think anyone should really, the comparison to others is such a severe
Trap.
path. Yeah.
Yeah.
Comparison trap.
It's a comparison trap.
Yeah.
You know, where you have to live your life for you and what works for you. And even we've spoken in the past about when we had babies, and you specifically, Sabina, had a very difficult beginning of becoming a first-time mother. But, you know, there was many mums that looked like that they had it all together in that mothers group, and yet they were all falling behind behind the scenes.
Yep.
It's the same in business, and it's the same everywhere. It's just being able to take that moment and really asking yourself, what do I need right now? Instead of comparing yourself to someone else, because it's not, their journey is none of your business, and yours is. So you're the one that can control your journey. And you reached out today, and we were able to support you because that's what you needed, and and we love you, and we want to do that. Obviously, you've got to find your people that have got the ability to do that, as well as also learning to take that 5-minute pause to regulate yourself and go, okay, this is just how it is for today. Because tomorrow can be completely different, and you can feel on top of the world and fully organized. So, yeah, and just reminding yourself not to compare yourself to others.
Yeah. I want to share something. I wasn't expecting to say this because it's during what you've just talked about is, you know, almost saying, you know, wow, Belinda, you're so calm, and, you know, celebrating that. But let me talk to you about how that has been sometimes an extreme dysfunction, because, you know, you think I've got it all together and I might like to keep it that way. And so I've tried, you know, very hard over time to make everybody else feel safe. Don't worry about me. And I remember one morning I didn't feel very well, and I was pregnant early in one of my pregnancies, and I wasn't feeling that well, and I had reason to go to the doctors to check that everything was okay. And so I went over. I said, go and have an ultrasound. And in that morning I went and had an ultrasound, and it had been revealed that I had miscarried. I took a breath. I went, okay, it's just the body's way of saying something was wrong. I know what this means. It's okay. I've got you. You're okay. Now just go to work and just move on. So I got in the car and I went to my store. I went into my office and I just sat there, and then it hit me. And I went, why are you even here? I couldn't even give myself that moment to just go home. I didn't allow it for myself. I ended up walking into my office, and then I was cranky with myself for doing that. Why would I have put myself in that position? Why would I have exposed myself on an extraordinarily emotional day where I just needed to take time? And the people pleasing and the silliness of all of it, it's not okay. Yeah. So I don't want people to celebrate that, gee, you had it together, because I didn't. And sometimes for the sake of trying to look okay all the time, I abandoned myself.
Yeah.
I did not take care of me. And in that moment, I didn't. And one of my business partners had recognised the look on my face, and he just said, Benny, what are you doing here? And it took that for me to recognise and go home. And give myself, by the way, I gave myself that day and was right back the next day. So I'm not proud of some of those moments. And there's a few of them. There's a few of them where I really just did not celebrate myself or take care of myself, and just for the sake of saving face and, showing up as a steadfast business owner, or, you know, a mum or a person that other people needed or relied on, I needed to be there for everybody. It has not served me well all the time. And I love helping people, though. You got to take care of you. I would have been far better to just turn around and just go and take a rest, take a cup of tea, lay in bed if I needed to, just to recalibrate. And I've done some of those silly things, and it has not helped. So you don't know what's going on with people on the other side. And I just say, if you see something different about someone, whether it's at work or in your friend circle, reach out. If they're having a reaction that's different, reach out. How you going? What's happening? Just checking in on you. Because that reaction is the message saying, I'm not okay. Something's going on for me. And we do it with our team or our kids. If our kids have a massive meltdown and tantrum after school, something happened at school.
Yeah.
And so us meeting that, like really, if they're escalating or they're being a bit rude, say one of the kids, and you think, well, that's not okay. But I'm curious these days. I'm really curious to go, hang on, that's not like my child to do that. So I need to hold space for them right now, get them back down to where they need to be. And I think you ladies have taught me a lot around that. We have to be there for other people. So much is going on behind closed doors. And so I'm sort of giving everyone a virtual hug today. If you're not okay, take the time. Just take that pause, take the breath. Look, I sound like Nicole now.
Well,
I'm learning so much.
But what I mean, there's so much there. Belinda, thanks for sharing that. Like that's sharing this so publicly, because I know that'll help so many people. So many people. And even if you haven't been through it, then I'm sure there's something there that resonates about how we should just slow down. But what I also heard is, how we, and I do it, and Nicole, you might, but we look after everybody else.
Yeah.
And even, we're always constantly looking after everybody else at the cost of ourselves.
Yeah.
We are not in that bundle. Okay, well, we'll look after, and even the kids, right? Even the kids, when they're going through something, we're like, okay, yeah, let's do it, let's get there. But we never, well, okay, we're getting better, but it's a work in progress, being there for yourself. So yeah, just thanks so much for sharing that. And there's just so much there that I think can help so many people. Very brave. And
Yeah. And I mean, I was definitely that person as well. My health condition has taught me otherwise. And it's been a process. And, most of the health conditions that people are suffering right now are invisible. So to the outside, we look like we're perfectly fine. And yet we could be in severe pain and you wouldn't know about it, or feeling low in energy and all the rest of it. There is so many things that people are going through. Not everyone has the capacity to hold space for another or for what they've got to deliver. So it's really picking the people that have got the capacity. And it's also feeling free to be able to also be able to say, I don't have capacity and I need to just take care of me as well, and not feel guilty about that. There are situations where we might have so much going on in our lives just with our immediate family that we can't actually hold the space for someone else and what they're going through, the way they need it. And, you give what you can, but obviously, you have to make sure that it's not going to drain you and send you down. And it's burnout material. This is all burnout material. So it's really learning your own capacity of what you have to give to others. It's always, my saying is, it's giving from the overflow, not from the well. And so if you haven't got any overflow, you've got nothing to give. because that well is what you need to get through your day. And so it's learning to fill yourself up, because it is no one else's responsibility to fill you up. No one knows what you need apart from you unless you're communicating it. And do the things that help you keep that overflow happening. And then from the overflow, you're able to give to others, and hold the space. And I think we should also normalize that we can be honest with the people around us, that that's where we're at.
Absolutely. The big challenge is that we wear the mask and we hide it. But it does show up. It's going to show up when you're upset, or you're angry, or you can't handle something. I'll give you an example. We had because we had this 18th, we had all these young people at our home. We had 50 18-year-olds. Now, I was so highly strung because I'm responsible for 50 18-year-olds, kids just starting out drinking. And, I made myself sick that day. I really did. I just had knots in my stomach, and I thought, gee, yeah, I'm the party parent. Wow. It was not easy.
Yeah.
And I was so worried about it that the following weekend I didn't want to do anything. And a girlfriend of mine, she said, do you want to come for dinner? But normally I've got a lot of energy to give, and I just had nothing. And I said no. And she was so shocked that she sent me a second message going, I can come closer to your house if that's better for you. And I'm like, no, I've got nothing. I really need to stay at home and rest. Well, I could just come to your house then. Like, that's not what I'm talking about. I don't need anyone around me right now. I just need, a book. You know what? Actually, I just needed to go to bed. I was asleep by 7:30 actually. That's what my body needed. Crazily, I got up at 10 p.m. because I'd had this great nap, and then I was awake for a couple of hours anyway. But the body just, I don't want to think. I don't want to give anybody any energy. I didn't have any energy for anyone else. And that's how I'm changing in my 50s. I'm really recognising people like my energy, so they're used to it. But if I haven't got it, I don't want to go, because I'm not going to dole it out. And, it kind of feels like I have to fake it. And I'm not really a faker.
Well done. Well done. A lot of people
Just say no. Yeah.
boundaries and being vocal about them, and not actually being frightened to actually voice your boundaries, because a lot of us, we do want to say yes, we want to make sure that everybody else is okay, again at the cost of ourselves. But well done for you doing that, saying yes to yourself. Well done.
So just the conversation is around respecting ourselves and taking care of ourselves when the school holidays are on, or when there's a lot of extra challenges. Just take a moment. Take the time out to give yourself what you need. And the chaos of today, Sabina, and your expletives when we first saw you, because your boys had you running around everywhere and you were going crazy. Just remind us, what was that like?
Well, I think what was on my mind when I'm trying to call and text, and I mean, I'm in the car, right? So, I mean, I'm not texting while I'm in the car.
Driving.
I'm driving. But, you're thinking about those kinds of things, and it's expectations. I'm like, I don't want to let them down. I don't want to let them down. And then I don't want to let the girls down. I don't want them to think that I have not, that I haven't prioritized this, because it is important to me. And all those things. And it's just like, in that moment of not breathing, like I'm just not breathing. And then I'm like, okay, I'll try and breathe in the car. And I think we need to sort of give ourselves a break, and also not overschedule ourselves.
Yeah.
Like for me, I had overscheduled myself. I had a meeting this morning, plus the fact that I was taking the kids to, then I had to, came here, plus I wanted to do all the things that I wanted to do. The house is an absolute tip. but I still manage to do the washing and, all those things. And I think we've put so much on ourselves. And I think if we could just pull back. The kids, if the kids don't go fishing, they are still going to survive. And that does not mean I'm a bad parent. If I have to reschedule, a meeting or something, that doesn't mean I'm a bad businesswoman. It just means that maybe I need a break, or maybe I just need a little bit of leeway. So I think if our listeners could just maybe look at your diary and actually maybe, tomorrow's diary, if we're still in school holidays, look and see, is everything really necessary? And have you scheduled too much? And look at it and think, because, and is it at the cost of you?
Yeah.
What are you benefiting and what is the cost? Because if the cost is abandoning yourself, like we've mentioned, in this, then it's too expensive.
It's way too expensive.
It's too expensive.
And we're in correct me if I'm wrong, people, but I feel like I know as parents, we want to give our kids absolutely everything. But we abandon ourselves to try and give our kids absolutely everything as well. And there is such a thing needed as boundaries for your children as well.
Yeah.
A no needs to be a no sometimes. They sometimes just need a no.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to have great relationships with your children and have memories. Well, then you need to carve that time out and say no to work. And so it is really prioritizing in these scenarios, what is your priority for the day? And it is a routine, it is a structure, it is booking it in so that your day can run smoothly, so that you're not in that stress element all the way through. Because, we all, I love being a mum. I love creating memories with the kids, but I can't afford those memories if our work is not succeeding.
Yes.
As well. So there is such thing as stretching ourselves too thin, and that will happen if we're not organised in a sense that we've booked, okay, today is a day that I'm just going to give to the kids. And that's what we can do. And this is a day that I have to work. So kids, I have to work today. And that's just how it is. You're having a at-home down day,
And the thing is, it was actually me who was the one who suggested to go. So it wasn't them. I was like, I can take you here. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. So it was me and my expectations. Well, okay, I want them to have the best school holidays, and they love fishing. And they went fishing yesterday, the day before. They're not gonna. But it was me that was the one who was like, no, I'll give them more. I want to give them more.
Yeah. And we want to.
So knowing being vocal of boundaries to other people, but in that case, it was being vocal of my boundaries to myself.
Yep.
Because I was like, oh no, I can do this for them. I can do this. I can make them some lunch at the same time, and blah 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 blah. All these things, and I'm like, I'm going further and further down the tunnel. So I think boundaries with ourselves and with others.
And pleasing everybody else doesn't necessarily put us in a great place. And I've spoken before around signal to noise, and the signal is everything about what I need to get done, or me working towards my goal. That's signal. Anything I'm doing work towards my goal, and that could be to be with the kids or have a good day with them, or help them to get to a destination that they want to get to with their friends. That's all signal. If it's in the diary and it's doable, it's terrific. The noise is everything else. It's probably the things that we could have cut out that weren't as important in that day. And so I think boundaries and working out what is the noise, cutting it out, it's a big thing for me. 2026, 2027, the next 2 years, I'm really going to focus on what is noise. And understanding the difference between downtime and wasting time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
That's a very important distinction. I know we're probably finishing up for time, but one thing as well is that what might offer some of our listeners as well is I really struggle with the schedule, as in have half of the day with the kids, half the day here. And what could be as well as an option is when you've got the kids' holidays, is like you said, is have just one day. That goal is just to spend it with the day. with the kids. And then that day is to spend it at the office rather than just having an hour, because an hour is very limited, or 3 hours even.
Yep.
But having a whole day, because that gives you then they can have all of me on one day, and I dedicate the whole day to them. And then I dedicate the whole day to my work. But when you're trying to, you're pleasing the business and you're pleasing your kids and you're doing, it's so hard, there's so much decision fatigue.
Yeah.
And you end up overworking. Make it really simple by saying, okay, Monday to Wednesday I do whatever, and the rest of the time it's kids. It could be days. For some people, it might work in day chunks,
Day blocks.
day blocks for kids' holidays. Yeah.
So, Sabina, can I make a suggestion for the next school holidays? Look at them now and block out a couple of days so that you're not putting any appointments on those days. You've got to do it well in advance because we have, reoccurring clients, and block it out now. And you say to the kids, I'm available those days. Knock yourself out. Let's go.
And Belinda, that is fantastic. And I'm going to do that. And I don't know why I haven't, but that is gold. And for anyone listening, if you're struggling, we all know the school holidays coming up. Schedule a couple of days so we aren't feeling as though that's great. I absolutely will, Belinda. Thank you.
It'll be so good. And next school holidays, the kids will know what days you are available to take them fishing.
Yes, and I will. Yes, I'll stick to
It'd be
it.
colder then.
They won't care.
You're amazing. I really think it is okay to get a bit stressed, but it's not okay to stay stressed. So let's really reward ourselves and have a nice cuppa or a warm drink or a lemon time and lemon time. I meant a lemon drink.
Lemon water.
Lemon water, that's what I was trying to get out. But anyway, that didn't come out right. Take care of yourself, which is really important. So I might just wrap us up today, ladies. You're all amazing, and there's busy mums can take time for themselves. So burnout, business, and body, they aren't separate; they're connected. And when you take care of all three, you don't just survive life; you thrive in it. We're here to motivate, educate, and encourage you to take care of what matters, and that is you. If something landed today, don't just nod and move on. Do something with it. Follow the podcast, share it with someone who needs it, or take the next step and work with one of us or all three through our 8-step growth master plan. Our links are in the show notes. And burnout, business, and body, take care of all three always. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
See you later.